Welcome to Good Day NA in North Mississippi's News Minutes. The New Albany Main Street Association has been designated as an accredited Main Street America program for meeting rigorous performance standards set by the National Main Street Center. Each year, the National Main Street Center and its coordinating program partners announce the list of accredited Main Street America programs in recognition of their commitment to preservation-based economic development and community revitalization through the Main Street approach. The New Albany Main Street Association's performance is an annual evaluation by the Mississippi Main Street Association, which works in partnership with the National Main Street Center to identify the local programs that meet 10 national performance standards. Evaluation criteria determines the communities that are building comprehensive and sustainable revitalization efforts and includes standards such as fostering strong public and private partnerships, documenting progress, and actively preserving historical buildings. Congratulations! On Thursday, May the 3rd, Miss Mississippi Ann Elizabeth Buys will be in New Albany. She will visit area schools and receive a key of the city from Mayor Tim Kent at 2:30 and be the special guest at the Pilot Anchor Club Award dinner that evening. We hope she has a wonderful stay in our area. Now on Monday, April the 25th, the Union County Republican Women's Club hosted their monthly meeting for their legislative night with Representatives Margaret Rogers, Steve Massengale, and Senator Nikki Browning. They talked to some bills that had passed and failed during the winter session, and they spoke of the different laws that went through their session, like the abortion law that was passed and the closing of all the roads and the bridges across the state, about the budgets and about the bills that impacted the school systems, among others. Now last week we reported on a tax that Philip Gunn had proposed that failed. The question was asked for clarification on this proposal and why it was not seen as a viable option. The explanation was, even though there was a 4% decreased tax and an 8% increased tax, it was from two different sources. The proposed 4% tax that would go away would come from the general funds, and this would mean the state would be without those funds and would have less operating money. Now, this is not a good option, the legislators thought, because the lack of funds means cuts, because you cannot spend what you do not have. They all agreed that the 8-cent increase on the gasoline tax would be fine, and they have gotten a lot of positive feedback across the state. Even at the meeting, they got positive feedback because people said that to be able to have good roads, you had to raise money. Now, those in attendance at the meeting had a lively discussion about all different kinds of things, which they were in favor of the tax because of the decline of our infrastructure, and also about the lottery. Now, the lottery is a point of discussion that the legislators hope to have. There are people that are blocking it for moral reasons, but there are people that are saying that we're losing money because folks are going into other states and getting tickets anyway. They did suggest that if people that are interested in having it to a statewide ballot, on statewide vote, that we have petitions to get it put on the ballot. Now, there is a wonderful place in our state that most people don't know about. It's in Cleveland, Mississippi, about 2 hours and 26 minutes, which is a good day trip from here. It is the Grammy Museum, Mississippi. Similar to its sister museum, the Grammy Museum in LA and Live, the Grammy Museum, Mississippi is dedicated to exploring the past, present, and future of music and cultural content from which it emerges, while casting a focused spotlight on the deep musical roots of Mississippi. The museum features a dynamic combination of public events, educational programs, engaging multimedia presentations, and interactive, permanent, and traveling exhibits, including the Mississippi-centric display that introduces visitors to the impact that Mississippi songwriters, producers, and musicians have had on tradition and modern music. They have a new exhibit each quarter, and right now through June, they have John Lee Hooker, the King of Boogie. Now you can call them at 662-441-0100 or go to 800 West Sunflower Road in Cleveland, Mississippi. Now the hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and on Sunday from noon to 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $12, and that's adults and college students are $6. 18 years and older, valid ID is required. And $10 for 65 years and older, $6 for 6 to 18 years, $10 for military, and they have a group price, and they have children's prices, and kids under 5 are free. And this week in history, on April the 30th, Willie Nelson was born. Willie Nelson's sound and his look revolutionized country music, making him one of the genre's most recognizable faces. And if his winning personality weren't enough reason to like him, then his good-natured struggles with the IRS would be. But before Willie became a legend or an icon, he was simply one of the most talented singer-songwriters of his generation. He began his musical training at the age of 6 and wrote his first song at the age of 7 in Abbott, Texas, where he was born in 1933. Also this week in history, on May the 1st in 1931, President Herbert Hoover officially dedicated New York City's Empire State Building, pressing a button from the White House that turned on the lights in the building. Hoover's gesture, of course, was symbolic. While the president remained in Washington, D.C., someone else flicked the switches in New York. The Art Deco plans, said to have been based in large part on the look of a pencil, was also builder-friendly. The entire building went up in just under a year, under budget at $40 million and well ahead of schedule. During certain periods of the building, the frame grew an astonishing 4.5 stories a week. At the time of its completion, the Empire State Building, at 102 stories and 1,250 feet high, and the world's largest, tallest skyscraper. The Depression-era construction employed as many as 3,400 workers on a single day, most of whom received an excellent pay rate, especially given the economic conditions of the time. The new building showed that New York City had a deep sense of pride and desperately needed it in the depths of the Great Depression, when many city residents were unemployed and prospects looked bleak. The grip of the Depression on New York's economy was still evident a year later, however, when only 25% of the Empire State's offices had been rented. Now, in 1972, the Empire State Building lost its title as the world's tallest building. Thank you for joining us here today for a Good Day NA in North Mississippi's News Minutes. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and go to our website where you can see changes as we're rebranding our station. Be sure to go to our YouTube channel and like us there so you don't miss any of our original programming. Now stay tuned for right after the news as a segment of the Carnegie Link-Up concert with North Mississippi's Symphony, sponsored by the New Albany Symphony League. And this will also be followed by a new episode of From the Heart. And we hope you have a wonderful week.